Myself Mydhili from Emmanuel Arasar JJ College of Engineering, Department of Computer Science. Today we are going to see about software process and agile development in Unit 1 in CCS 356 Object Oriented Software Engineering. So first of all we can see about software. What do you mean by software? A software cannot be touched and it is present inside the system, that is called as software. What do you mean by process? Process is a activity that is performed in a software. So here going to see about software process. What do you mean by software process? It is a interactive and incremental approach focusing on flexibility, continuous feedback and rapid development. And what do you mean by agile development? It is one of the sequential development life cycle model. It will called as SDLC. Next, what do you mean by software engineering? First, we can see about what is hardware. Hardware is a physical components that can be touched and viewed by the customer. And what do you mean by software? It cannot be touched and viewed. Okay. Now we are going to software engineering. What do you mean by software engineering? The operations that are dealt with software is called as software engineering. That is systematic discipline and approach to design, development, testing and maintenance. Usually the software engineering has different phases: requirement analysis and gathering, design, testing, implementation, deployment and maintenance. So here we are going to see about software characters. Every human being has unique character. The software also have some of the characteristics features. So software is a logical rather than a physical system element. Software has characteristics that are considerably different from those of hardware. What does this line mean? Software has characteristics that are considerably different from those of hardware. So software cannot be touched. The hardware can be touched. What are the examples of software? Word, PowerPoint, everything we are using the applications are as examples. Hardware example, IC chip, transistor. What we are touching or weaving is a hardware components. It is a activity high quality is achieved through good design. So for example, before we are going to construct a building, we will put a design. Once the design is clear, it is easy to implement the things. The same, before doing a project, we will gather the requirements, what are the necessary items we need, and after that we will plan a design. That is called as good design. Next one is software application domains. So where and all the software can be applied. First one is the system software. What do you mean by system software? It's a collection of programs written in service of these programs. So what do you mean by program? A set of instruction or set of code to execute. Example, compilers, editors and the management utilities. Operating system. What are mean by operating system? Windows 10, Unix, whatever we are using, that is called as operating systems. So next one is the real-time software. What are mean by real-time software? In advance we are using the software that is called real-time softwares. Next one is a control output component. Example, external environment, a monitoring component that coordinates the other component to the real environment. Next one is the business software. Business software, for example, tally, payroll, accounts. In the shop we are going, they are using one software that is called as business software. We are purchasing an item and they are scanning the QR code and they are billing it. That is called as business software. Next one, application in the area, restructure existing data and the way that facilitate business operation. So before that we will develop a software. Now what are the future introduction we want to insert, it will be inserted. Next, engineering and scientific software. This is the number crunching algorithms. So in the engineering field, what we are using the software, that is called as engineering softwares. Next one, the generic process framework activities. What do you mean by a framework activity? It will be a efficient, it will give a efficient and portability. So what do you mean by a framework? It is a structured reusable platform providing pre-built components. Already we have designed the house, now we are going to make some changes in that house, that is called as framework. Already it will be developed, now we are going to make some changes in that software, that is called as framework activities. So first one is planning. So what do you mean by software project plan? It defines the software engineering work by describing the technical task, what are the tasks to be conducted, what we are going to make, that are the tasks, the risk that are likely, the resources they will be required, the work products to be produced, and a work schedule. Next one is modeling. What we be modeling? The software engineering does by creating models to better understand. Before, for example, in a dress shop, we will see a models hanging outside. For what? To get a look. For a saree, they will give a model. So what does it means? What does it will explain us? If you take the saree, it will looks like this. So by attracting that model, we are buying it. The same here, software engineer also make a model and he will explain the model to the customer. Next one, construction. After that, first one he will gather the requirements, then he will model, then after that he will construct, that is the code generation. Last is the deployment. After everything is over, we will deploy the project to the customer. Software engineer process framework activities are complemented by a number of umbrella activities. What do you mean by umbrella activities? It is a set of supporting the entire software development cycle. What is software development cycle? Means SDLC. So the umbrella activities man, in the whole project there is some supporting items, that is called as umbrella activities. Next, projects tracking and control. Okay, where it comes, it will track the schedule. For example, Flipkart, I am going to buy a product. Okay, so first step is I have ordered the product and I have paid the product. So next I will check, that is called as tracking. I will track the item where it has been delivered. So step by step I will track the item, finally it will be delivered to me correctly. Next one, risk management. This assesses risk that may affect the outcome of the project. For example, if I buy that product, if it is damaged, what are the risks I am going to face? I will return it back to the same Flipkart or whatever it is. That is called as risk management. If the error occurs in the software, what should do? Prevention, we should take care. Next one, software quality assurance. It defines and conducts the activities required to ensure software quality. Next one, technical views. It acts as software engineering work product in an effort to uncover and remove errors. Measurement. Define and collects process, project and product. Next is software configuration management. What do you mean by configuration? In all the system there will be one configuration. If you are doing the project, we should first identify whether the project is run by that system, whether the project can be run by that system. Only then we can do the project. If the configuration not set, we cannot use it. Next, reusability and management. What is mean by reusability? Future we can use the same software, that is called as reusability management. Next, prescriptive process model. For that, to create a software thing, there are some more models they have assigned in software engineering. The first one is the waterfall model. The waterfall model usually is called as sequential model. Next one is incremental process model. The last one is evolutionary process model. So, first one is waterfall model. What do you mean by waterfall model? The waterfall model is sometimes called as classic life cycle model. What do you mean by classic life cycle model? The waterfall, how the waterfall will flow. How the waterfall will flow? It is flowing sequential. So it is called as sequential approach or linear approach. So water will come from top to down, not from down to top. So it is coming in sequential or linear approach to software development that begins with customer specification of requirements. So the first step is requirements. I'm going to develop a project for a customer. So I will ask that customer what are the requirements you should. Please give the requirements or list of the requirements that are necessary for the project to develop. Only then I can proceed to the next step. So first step is requirement and analysis. In that, what are the things we should need? For example, operating system, configuration, what are the applications, next what are the things we need, how many developers we need to develop that project, everything we should decide. That is called as planning phase. Otherwise it is called a requirement or analysis phase. In requirement and analysis, we will collect the requirements from the customers and we will document that requirements. Next step is the first step is the communication. What is the communication step? We will discuss with the customer what are the needs and what are the requirement we should need for that. Next one, planning. We will plan how to design that project. How can we can complete that project. That is called as planning. Next one is modeling. What do you by modeling? It is analyzing the design. I am making the design for the project. How it will be. By getting that requirements from the customer, I am going to make a blueprint so that how it will come in the future. For example, I am constructing the house. First I will collect the requirements. What are the necessary things we should going for development of a house. After that I will design how it will be. After that I will start a construction. After everything is over, I will construct a house and give it to the customer. The same procedure here we are getting. First one is communication. In the communication, I am meeting the customer and getting what are the plans, what are the requirements. After that, I am going to plan with that necessary things and that modeling. I am going to develop a design or a blueprint for that software. After that, I will construct. Last phase is the deployment phase. Next one, incremental process model. What do you mean by incremental process model? Applies linear sequence at in staggered fashions at calendar time progresses. So incremental model applies linear sequences. It will step by step it will get incremented. So in waterfall model it is a sequential process. It will come in order. In this one by one step we will get incremented. So each line or sequence procedure deliver increments of the project. The first increment is called the core product. So the first increment is called the core product. The step by step incrementation, here it will increment step by first I will build a basement, after that I will go to the next step. The same here, first I will start with a first code. If it is correct, then I will move to the next phase, that is called the incremental process model. The core product is used by the customer. As a result to fuse or evolution, the plan is developed for them incremental. So for the same process only, first I will get the requirements and I will model or design the requirements what they have given. After that I will put a code. So the project I will split it like modules. So I will write the first module. If it is correct, I will move to the next module. That is, I am one step I am going incrementing. That is called as incremental process model. Next one is the RAD model. The RAD model means Rapid Application Development Model. It is a line sequential software development process model that emphasizes an extremely short development life cycle. So here rapid model used to component based construction approach. It is used in business purposes. Most rapid application model can be used in business purposes. If requirements are well understood and project copies construction, the RAD models enables a development team to create a fully functional system. The same process as in the waterfall model. So first phase will be the requirement analysis and the gathering. The second phase will be the design. The third phase will be the coding, and fourth phase is the testing, and last phase is the deployment or the maintenance. The same thing. Here it won't take the step by step process. If the full system, the house we are going to build, if I can understand what I am going to make, they will proceed with the requirements. Okay, that is called as RAD model. So business modeling here, data modeling, process modeling, application generation, testing. What do you mean by testing? Who will test the software? The software testers are there. They will test the software. For the, what is the purpose of software testing? To debug the errors and fix the errors. Only then we can deploy the project to the customer. If it is a successful project only, we can deploy to the customer. Before that we need to check the project. If I am making a house, finally I will check the house whether I have finished all the requirements that a customer has given. Otherwise no use. The same procedure here I am using. Next one is the prototyping model. What do you mean by prototype? Prototype is evaluated by the customer user and used to refine requirements for the software to be developed. A quick design focuses on a representation of those aspects of the software that will be visible to the customer. A quick design leads to the construction of a prototype. Prototype serves as a mechanism for identifying software requirements. So prototype means is a model or a blueprint. So what it will do? I will identify the requirements. For example, I am building a house. So what are the requirements they have given by the customer? Like sand we need to build a house. Next is cement. Like that, what are the requirements are present? How we are going to manage that requirements? That is called as prototype. Is a framework. If working prototype is built, the developer attempts to use. So already the same house can be built. So already, for example, I am taking a library management system. So now the customer is telling the same thing to me. Library management system I need. So what I will do? There is an existing system, library management. In that, what we can integrate, what we can add additional things, and what we can make new. That is called as prototype model. There will be existing model, and I will add some more features or some more things to that model to make the thing a beautiful one. That is called as prototyping model. So first one is communication. I am dealing with the customer and I am interacting with the customer and getting how it will be done and what are the necessary things and how you want to change the existing system. That is called as communication. Quick plan. I am making a quick plan. That is called as requirement gatherings and I am documenting it. Next, modeling a quick design. I am going to model what the customer has given the requirements. According to that, I am making a blueprint for it. That is called as modeling. And construction of prototype. I am going to implement code for that project. That is called as construction of prototype. And after that, deployment, delivery and feedback. I am providing reviews, how I have done. Please give some ratings and reviews. For example, Zomato. The food has been developed by the person and he is asking the ratings or the reviews. For what is the use of that ratings and reviews? If we are providing 5-star, he will get some priority. That is, work is perfectly done. If we are giving 1-star rating, there will be no use. That indicates. So according to the ratings and reviews, the customer can buy the product. For example, I am in Flipkart, I am buying a product. First thing, I will go and review the product and I will consider the ratings. How many ratings they have given for that product. After that only I will buy. Correct? Is it correct? Everyone will do the same procedure. For example, I am developing a game app and I am deploying the app. So how the customer will get that app? I am going in the Play Store. First I will check the ratings. If it is 5-star rating, then the app will works fine. If it is 1-star rating, can we download that app? No. The same thing is called deployment or delivery ratings. Next one is the spiral model. The spiral model is the important model in the software engineering process models. So it is an evolutionary software process model that couples the iterative nature of prototyping with the control, led and systematic aspects of the linear sequential model. The spiral development model is a risk-driven process model generator used to guide multi-stakeholder. What do you mean by multi-stakeholder? If the project is used by a single customer, that is called a single stakeholder. If there are multiple users, it is called as multi-stakeholder. The domain distinguishes the features. The other is a set of anchor point milestones for ensuring stakeholder commitment to feasible. I am checking whether I have completed all the requirement that the customer has given. That is called a spiral model. Software is developed in a series of incremental releases. The spiral model is divided into number of framework activities called task region. What do you mean by framework? Already we have seen. It is a nothing but a structure or the design for the project. So, for example, I am getting a project from a customer. I am dividing the project into number of activities and I am giving each activity to one developer. So the work will be easier and it will be rotated. The work can be rotated to everyone. That is called a framework activities and it is also called as task region. So spiral model. Here is the picture for the spiral model. The same only. First one is planning. First one, customer communication. The customer is coming and communicating with me. He is telling about the requirements, what are the needs for the software to be developed. I am gathering it and analyzing it and documenting it. First step is over. The next one is the planning or the designing phase. After that, I will plan what can be done with that requirements. And I will put a blueprint and design for that project. So once design I will make, I can move to the coding phase. And after that, coding I am putting another one that is called as risk analysis. What do you mean by risk analysis? What are the risks I am going to face? What are the risks I am going to face? Or what are the problems will come if I do the project? Next one, customer evaluation. After I have separated the project into set of framework activities. So one module is over, I will give it to the customer and check whether I have fulfilled your requirements. So it is called as customer evaluation phase. In the customer evaluation phase, the customer will evaluate how much we have done. Okay, if he is satisfied, we can move to the next thing. Next one is construction and release. Okay, after customer evaluation, I will construct the next module and finish the module and I will go for testing. Before releasing, I will test the project, what I have done, if there is any errors or bugs. For example, I am going to do a PPT. So after finishing it, I will check from first to last whether I have done any mistakes, there is any errors or bugs. Everything we will check it. Is it in day to life we are doing so many things. So in each and every step we will check one by one whether we have done correctly. After that only we will release it. That is called as construction and release. That are the types of models. So what are the models we have studied? First one is waterfall model. The second one is incremental model. The third one is the rapid application development model. The fourth one is the spiral model. So waterfall model means it is a linear sequential model, like the waterfall flowing from top to bottom, it will come in linear sequential. The same thing, there are 5 phases: requirement analysis and gathering, second is planning or design, the third one is the coding, the fourth one is the testing, and last one is the deployment or the maintenance phase. The same for the 4 models. The second one is the incremental model. What will it mean? So we have seen it. Incremental model, increment step by step process. That is called as incremental model. Next, a rapid application model. What is a rapid application model? In that model, only when the developer clears or get a clear information about the system, what he is going to develop, then only he will proceed with that model. That is called as rapid application model. Next one is the spiral model. It is one of the important model in the life cycle model. So in the spiral model, the project is divided into set of framework activities, that is called as test driven projects. So next here we are going to see agility. What is meant by agility? Is the ability to respond quickly to changing needs. Agility means I have get the requirements from the customer. So suddenly I will change the requirements. That is called as agility. According to the project, I will change the requirements. That is called as agility. So agility encourages stream structures and attitude that make effective. It emphasizes rapid development of operational of. It adapts the customer at a part of development team. It helps in organizing a team. Agility results in rapid incremental delivery of software. The cost of change in software development increases non-linear. What is meant by linear and non-linear? Here we can see. In data structures also it is there, linear and non-linear data structure. So what do you mean by linear data structure? It is sequential data structure arranged in order. From here we can see it is arranged neatly. I am going to visit a library. The books will be arranged neatly and in linear manner. That is called as linear order. Sequential means it is arranged in non-linear manner. That is called as sequential order. So it is relatively easy to accommodate a change. The cost of doing this work are minimal. It is affect the outcome of the project. Cost varies quickly. So first I will get the requirements and doing that project I will estimate one cost. The project is cost 7,000. After that I am suddenly changing the requirements. So the cost will be suddenly gets changes. So it is not flexible. That is called as agile process. Reduce the cost of change. Agile process flattens the cost of change curve. When incremental delivery is coupled with another agile practices. So agility principles. What are the principles? Satisfy the customer, welcoming changing requirement, deliver working software frequently, customer and developer must work together daily, build projects around motivated individuals, emphasize on face-to-face communication, working of where are the primary measures of customers and developers will work together here. Next one, simplicity. What do you mean by simplicity? The art of making the amount of work not done is essential. Self-organized teams produce the best architecture requirements design. Next one is human factors. What are the human factors that affect the agility development? First one is common focus, collaboration, competency, decision making ability, fuzzy problem solving ability, mutual trust. What is the mean by fuzzy problem? Can anyone explain? So fuzzy problem means it is a confused problem. So like a dice, we are keeping all the colors together. So confused problem, we are going to work with that and making it to correct. That is called as fuzzy problem solving ability. Next is self-organization. If the project is given to me, I will self-organize. I will organize the team in a proper manner so that the project will be guided and it will be done in a stipulated time. That is called as self-organization. Next one, XP process. What do you mean by XP process? Extreme programming uses an object-oriented approach for software development. It is one of the agile process development. The XP is one of the agile process development. There are 4 framework activities in XP process. Already we have changed the process models. First we have seen what are the process models. Again I am repeating you: waterfall model, spiral model, rapid application model, incremental model. Here we are going to the what are the XP processes: planning, designing, coding, testing. Okay, 4 phases: planning, designing, coding, testing. What do you mean by planning? Already I have said so many times about the planning. The first is the requirements we will get. Here we will create a story card. What do you mean? See, small diary I will make to write the hidden notes, that is called as story cards. Set of stories. Also use story. Each story written by the customer placed as in the desk card. Okay. One requirement, one plan. He will make a little bit of desk card and he will write on it. That is called as story. Agile team access each story and assigns a cost for each story. Here, for example, don't need to confuse it. Example, I am going to develop a project. The project is split into various framework activities. So, I am writing one on planning, one on story cards. Nothing story cards are. I am writing it in small diary book. One on plan, I am writing it one on paper. So, one on paper is estimated, one on cost. That is called as stories. Next one is the commitment is made on delivery date. I will give a delivery date when it will be delivered. Okay, if I am ordering a product on Flipkart, a delivery date will be shown. Estimated delivery. Have you seen it? Estimated delivery. Before that also it can come with that stipulated period. Next one, design. Follows and keeps it simple principle. Encourage the use of CRC, class responsibility collaboration cards. Class response, that is called a story cards. Design occurs both before and after coding commences. Design can occur before and after the coding. Next is the coding phase. Recommends the construction of series of unit tests for each of the stories before coding. Test driven management establishes a series of measurable destinations and then defines mechanism for determining whether or not this destination has been reached. What are the perspectives? What are the drawbacks? That is called as perspectives. The review examine issues, events and lessons learned software. It is continuous learning. Learning is a vital product of continuous process improvement. In addition to this, new practice story driven development. Story driven development, that is called as SDD. Next one is extreme programming. The best known and a very influential agile method. So, what do you mean by extreme programming? It is a well known or a very influential agile method. Extreme programming takes an extreme approach to iterative development. So, new versions may be built several times per day. For example, what we can say as an example, mobile phones. Okay, Samsung Galaxy I am going to take. In Samsung's Galaxy there are so many versions: version 1, version 2, version 3. For example, Windows, we can take an operating system. Windows, there are so many versions: Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. That is called as versions. So increments are delivered customers every 2 weeks. So the project will be split into framework activities. Okay, test driven activities. So framework activities is also called as test driven activities. And after completing the project, every week I will submit a report to the customer, so the customer will be somewhat get satisfied. So all the tests must run for every build, and the build accepted first successfully. Next one, selected user stories for this release. Break down stories to task, plan release, evaluate system, release software, development, integrate, test software. So first one, what? Select user stories. I heard. So among the requirement, which one is easy first that we will develop? Next one, I will get the project from the customer. I will split it into different stories or different tasks, and after that I will make a plan or a design for the task. After that I will evaluate or test the system what I have developed. After that I will release the software. After that I will develop, integrate and test the software, and after that I will deploy it. Next, people not process through pair programming, collective ownership and a process that avoids long working hours, change supported to regular system release, maintaining simplicity through constant refactoring of code. What do you mean by refactoring? That is called as reanalyzing of code. So that is called as reanalyzing. Once I have developed the code, after that I am analyzing it or refactoring is what we have been done. Next one, what are the XP values? What do you mean by XP? Extreme programming. So communication, simplicity, feedback, courage, respect. First one is communication. What do you mean by communication? Dealing with the customer. Next one, simplicity, how the project looks. Next, I will review for the feedback. Next one, courage. Next one, respect. So each of these values is used as a driven for specific XP activities. To consider simplicity, XP requires developers to design only for immediate rather than future needs. Feedback is derived from three sources: software, customer and other land members. The user stories or use cases are implemented by the increments used as a basis of acceptance. So, an agile XP team must have the courage recognizing that future requirements may change dramatically, thereby demanding substantial rework of the design and implemented code. So what does it mean? The user stories or use cases are implemented by the increments. So use cases means what? According to the use cases or the requirements, we are going to develop or implement the work, which implements the output, function and behavior of the test case in the form of feedback. Once it is developed, I will give for a feedback. So the feedback is done by the customers. Next, the agile XP team must have a courage to design for today, recognize the future requirements. According to the feedbacks, we will make a changes or develop a code. So in the first chapter, what we have studied, the process models and the agile development. What are the process models? Waterfall model, spiral model, rapid application development model, incremental model, prototyping model. In the agile development, what we have seen? Extreme programming, that is called as XP. It is one of the agile process. We will in the agile process we will create a story codes for the projects, and each story codes a cost will be assigned, and we will do according to that plan, and the project will be executed. So the Agile team will build a, for example, if the project there are 5 modules, which module is easy, the Agile team can build that module first, and it will reviewed for the customer reviews. Once the feedback is get from the customer, according to the feedback the requirements can be changed and it will be reviewed. Thank you.